welcome. I'm Nira Berry, life and happiness coach and your host of Happy and Healthy, where we explore all the many ways of keeping you feeling happy and healthy. And remember to watch my Good to Know segment at the end of each show, where I share with you what's good to know. So today we have a wonderful guest. Her name is Amalia Lopez. So please welcome Amalia.
Thank you, Nira.
Amalia is Associate Program Director of Girls on the Run. And I love it because it's all about empowering girls. It's really wonderful. So can you just tell me a little bit about Girls on the Run?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So Girls on the Run is all about empowering girls. We're a physical activity-based positive youth development program that uses running as a way to teach life skills in girls. So we inspire them to be joyful, healthy, and confident through a curriculum that really creatively integrates running into their lessons.
Wow, so it sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot to know. How did you get involved with it? Like, are you an inspired runner yourself?
I am. I actually, through Girls on the Run, I really found some awesome support, some awesome teammates in our staff, in our volunteers, and they've really gotten me a lot further. I personally started running as a way to really feel empowered myself after a childhood with some issues with confidence and self-esteem like so many other girls struggle with. I personally found running as a way to build up my own confidence, and I'm really proud to be a part of an organization that can do that and can also teach some awesome life skills for these girls to be confident, healthy, and joyful for the rest of their lives.
So I'm really curious, like how does running really help girls, achieve all those wonderful life skills and all those things you mentioned?
It is such a great vessel to teach all of that. So we work with elementary school girls and middle school girls, and at the end of every spring and fall season, their goal is to complete a 5K. So that's 3.1 miles, and that's a lot for a girl in the 3rd grade, a girl in the 8th grade, all sorts of ability levels. That's a lot. So they set that goal. And they meet in their Girls on the Run teams and work physically. They train every step of the way to meet those goals. They have coaches that support them, but at the end of the day, they're the ones whose legs cross the finish line, and by setting those goals and achieving them, they're able to build up their confidence and prove to them that they can do something that maybe they thought they couldn't do from the beginning.
Yeah, and so tell me, why is this important?
It's actually really important, especially for girls and for this age group. So about 50% of girls in the 10th, 11th, and 13th year are struggling with bullying. They're struggling with confidence issues. They're struggling with exclusion and name calling. While at the same time, at the age of 9, girls start to decrease in their physical activity. They become less active, and that continues on through life. And then right around that same age, right around that age of 10, girls start to decrease in confidence. So all of that's coming at this crucial age where it's really important to get girls physically active, because around this age also is when girls will start to drop out of sports. So this is a way to get them physically active in a non-competitive arena, but they can also learn life skills along the way. So they're playing games, they're playing tag with their friends, and they're not realizing that they're also learning tangible life skills on how to be caring, on how to make connections, on how to be confident, on how to really impact their community and be a part of their community, and also on how to be physically active and really carry that on through the rest of their life.
So, do you have an example of somebody that's been with the program and maybe what an impact it's had on her life?
Oh, absolutely. One of our program participants had done Girls on the Run all the way through elementary school, and in coming to middle school, she joined our Heart and Soul team, which is really geared specifically towards middle schoolers. Coming into the 6th grade, she didn't have a lot of friends, not a lot of people that she knew. And she was also not very strong physically. She had a physical disability. So she was having trouble making friends. She was having trouble making those connections and really thriving.
So it's for girls that also have physical disabilities.
Absolutely. So Girls on the Run is for anybody, any girl who wants to join. And so we really wanted it to be inclusive, and girls can make those connections. It's a place where girls can make friends.
Yeah. So this girl that you were telling me about, so you said she had a physical disability?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was able to make
yeah.
friends through Girls on the Run. Actually, was able to personally volunteer as a coach for her team.
Oh, wow.
I saw by the end of her time in Girls on the Run, she had some best friends. They were having sleepovers and telling me all about it. So she had the confidence to make those friends and really make those connections. But she also had the confidence to help other people. She went to her school in her cafeteria, and she helped to set up a pals table where anybody who doesn't have somebody to sit with at lunch can join in. Anybody is welcome, and they can have somebody to share their lunch period with.
Wow. That's really great. I love hearing stories like that, and I'm sure there's probably many examples also. So, what do you recommend? Like, let's say for our audience that in general, let's say for a girl that might be the same age, like in high school or middle school, what do you recommend that they can do? Do you have any tips for them that, as far as being encouraging for them or leadership skills?
Yes. So the first thing I say, set goals. Set goals that are realistic. Set goals where you can take tangible steps to accomplish them, just like the 5K that the girls do at the end of the Girls on the Run season. Just like my friend Margaret that I just told you about, crossing the line, the finish line is huge. Whether it's a running goal, whether it's a goal for professional development, whether it's a goal for school, in any realm, set a goal and work to reach it, because even those small steps along the way can build up confidence.
And how do they reach how do they set those goals? Like, what determines, I guess it has to be something attainable, right? So, like, maybe like baby steps,
Yeah, absolutely, baby steps every step of the way. And one thing that we do in Girls on the Run is really honoring what makes you unique. So think about your own joys. Think about what empowers you and what gets you excited. It might not necessarily be physical activity. Whatever it is, though, that's a great area to set a goal, and also really to build up your own confidence, because identifying what you're good at and what you can do and what you can be proud of is a huge step also into building up self-confidence.
Yeah, I bet. And I know that there's some other techniques or tips that you have, like
Yes.
Celebrating inner beauty, or
Yeah.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Like,
Celebrate your inner beauty.
Yeah.
At Girls on the Run, we honor and really celebrate girls who live up to their own personal values. So make sure that you're doing that you're doing things that bring you joy, that really make you happy, not necessarily because somebody else is telling you to do them, because that's what you're interested in. And that way you can really find that self-worth that's behind a lot of other things that may be bringing us down. So one of those things would be, another suggestion would be around the realm of negative self-talk. How many times do we say to ourselves, oh, I can't do that, or oh, that's too hard, or that's just not for me? Identifying those. So whether you are a parent and you have a child and you see them saying something like that to themselves, whether it's, oh, I'm so bad at math, or whether you find yourself doing that and saying, oh, I could never run a 5K. Whatever that is, and negative self-talk, identify it. Point it out in other people around you too, so that you can recognize when you're bringing yourself down, and then you can change it around. Maybe math isn't your child's strong suit, but maybe you can focus on getting some help, asking for help, doing a study group, spending a little bit more time on homework, and then eventually working towards that goal. So instead of saying, oh, I'm so bad at math, you could say, maybe if I work hard, maybe if I ask my teacher for help, I can improve my grades.
Oh, that's really very important. I know that that really whatever we say to ourselves, we really believe. Mm-hmm. And I know, like, speaking in the positive is really important for all of us, not just for girls or for guys or adults in general. It's really important. Yeah. And part of that is, thinking positively is also, I'm sure, picking healthy friendships, right?
Yes. So picking healthy, be around people that want to that treat you the way you want to be treated. Thinking about friendships and identifying bullying, identifying gossip. Do you really want to be around these kinds of people? Do you want to be around the people that maybe bring you down? Going back to your own uniqueness, celebrating you. If that's not something that brings you joy, then you can identify that. We talk to girls about identifying bullying. It's not necessarily just name calling. It can be exclusion. It can be online, in person, all sorts of different realms. So identifying that and making sure you're surrounding yourself with positive people is a really great way to get that connection and really be around people that make you feel your best, just like you're trying to talk yourself up to feel your best as well.
Yeah, and probably if you're surrounding yourself with like healthy relationships, you'll feel more confident in being able to, to vocalize any concerns you may have, being able to feel confident enough to say, well, I'm feeling this way, right?
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
self-advocacy is huge. Not only just surrounding yourself with positive people, but advocating for yourself. So one of the things we talk about with girls is our emotions. Don't label them as good or bad because all emotions are just experiences. Some are more comfortable for us to deal with and some are uncomfortable. But by identifying our emotions and experiencing them, giving them a name, we can identify how we're feeling in a certain situation. And if we're not sure, that's okay as well. So when you identify the emotion, then you can have a chance to stop and take a breath and think about how do you want to act. So you see some bullying behavior on the school bus, and you see a girl who wants to sit with a group and they're not letting her sit with them on the school bus. Maybe that makes you anxious. Maybe that makes you upset. So identifying the way that makes you feel, taking a deep breath, and then maybe you decide, I am going to stand up for this girl on the school bus. Maybe I will stand up for my friend. And using I statements to advocate for yourself or advocate for others creates a constructive environment to do so. So you'll be able to see that impact.
Yeah, and that's all these all these tips and tricks of that you mentioned, techniques. These are all really good life skills in general to be able to carry forward their whole life, and even for adults to use. It's always a good reminder to remember that, and like the healthy relationships parts, the people that boost you up and not pull you down. Mm-hmm. You know, that's important, and people that you want to be around that maybe inspire you, right? You know, yes. Rather than if you see if they're exhibiting bad behavior, not to associate yourself with them. You know, that's all through life. That could happen, right?
Right, absolutely. And we hear, so all of our Girls on the Run teams are led by volunteer coaches. So they might be parents, they might be teachers or staff, they might be community members who are really passionate about the mission. And what we hear over and over and over again is from the volunteers that are working with the girls is how much they get back.
Yeah. Well, so I want to hear more about that. We're going to take a short break now, and I'm Nira Berry, your host of Happy and Healthy. So we're going to be right back, so stay tuned.
Oh, emojis! I thought the conversation just got dumber.
Ugh, internet trolls, just ignore them.
I like you just the way you are.
I believe in you!
She's a hugger. Give her a squeeze.
Help up the hand.
Ah, there you go.
Thanks, mate.
You're killing it, Jane!
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework. I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
1 in 5 children struggle with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to understood.org.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Nira Berry, your host of Happy and Healthy, and we're speaking with Amalia Lopez, and she's with Girls on the Run, all about empowering girls. So Amalia, just tell me a little bit why this organization started for girls specifically, because it's not like kids on the run, it's like Girls on the Run, right? So.
Right. So all of the development and the founding of Girls on the Run was really focused on girls, focused on giving them a voice, focused on the confidence issues that they challenge that are really unique to girls. And at the time that Girls on the Run was founded 21 years ago, there weren't as many options for girls, especially in this age range when girls are starting to drop out of competitive sports. Girls on the Run is a way to was a way to get girls active, but all of the topics, everything we've talked about, all this confidence building is really specifically meant for girls to prepare them for their lives and their future.
Wow, I didn't realize it was like 21 years ago. That is, it's a different time when girls actually needed a lot more. Nowadays, we speak about it a lot, about leadership and confidence, but especially back then, that was really something that wasn't spoken about as much for women and for girls. So That's really wonderful. Could you tell me, like, is this what you do with the girls, and just for girls in general to be active and running? Is there research behind this?
There is. So the curriculum that we use for Girls on the Run to teach all the research actually was just part of a longitudinal study by Dr. Maureen Weiss from the University of Minnesota. And so it shows that girls who are learning these life skills along with physical activity are doing much better in terms of physical activity outside of school, outside of the classroom. So girls who learn these life skills through Girls on the Run are 40% more active from before the program to after the program. And also by specifically addressing these issues, 97% of Girls on the Run participants actually improved in life skills and confidence, caring, connection, in character, and in physical activity. So there is research behind it. The girls are playing games, being active, laughing, and making friends. But at the same time, there is research supporting all of the good work that they're doing. And girls that start below average on a lot of these measures show improvements during Girls on the Run, but then even 3 months afterwards, it sticks with them. We have some of our Girls on the Run in Montgomery County are now going off to college. So we've heard from some Girls on the Run in college, and they even remember specifically a lesson where they would put all of their negative thoughts inside of a negative Nelly monster that would eat them. They remember all the way now that they're going into college these activities. So it sticks with the girls, and the research behind it really solidifies the need for girls building up confidence and being physically active.
And have you had a girl actually call you up, and that's post-college or even in college, saying like, I wanted to thank you? I bet you have.
Yes, yes, we have. We've had girls that thank us. We've had volunteer coaches that when they come to volunteer, say, oh, I did this when I was a girl. We also have a scholarship for Girls on the Run Montgomery County participants who are going off to college. So they share stories with us. Like one of the girls met her absolute best friend for life in Girls on the Run, and she's had this relationship since she was in the 3rd grade, and it was all really solidified through the team building that they did, through growing physically, but then also the lessons and the games and just having fun. So we've heard from adults who did Girls on the Run, and it sticks with them.
So what are like some of the activities that you just mentioned briefly, like a team building activity? Can you give me an example of what that would look like?
So the girls really work in a team to go through experiences, a lot of shared emotions. They're learning skills, but then they're also playing games. So the game might be a game of tag where nobody's it, but the whole goal is a universal goal for nobody to be out. So that kind of takes the idea of girls who you would usually be playing a competitive game, but makes it something where everybody wins. It's a whole team goal. Similar to some of the activities that I've seen track teams run, where you run a ladder, you do group runs. Girls on the Run isn't competitive in that regard, but it's all team-centered goals. So girls are really encouraged to support each other. It doesn't necessarily matter how far you ran or how fast you ran, as long as you were giving your full effort and you were supporting your friends along the way.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, do you, a lot of the girls, are they on, track teams, or, do they actually become really good runners at the end? I mean, running is a great, skill and sport to have your whole life, but.
Oh, yes. One of the girls on my team, her goal was to run the entire 5K. And she was going to run with her mom, but she was doing amazing. She was doing great. So she ended up calling up her cousin, who's a cross-country runner, and he joined her at the 5K to be her buddy runner so that she could go her pace. And she was so proud of herself. Now she's going off into high school and has really embraced softball. She's using her running skills, using her confidence, and as a freshman is trying out for the high school softball team. So that's really carried over. We've had girls who have run half marathons because of what they learned in Girls on the Run when they were younger. They've set further and further running goals. So it's really exciting to see that. Girls who do Girls on the Run, on average, are 40% more active afterwards. So setting them up from a young age to just appreciate fitness. They don't have to love running. They don't have to want to be a track star. But if you can appreciate fitness and what your body can do, then that's something that you can carry on with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, absolutely, because you're shown how good you feel afterwards. And activity really helps you focus more. The exercise has been shown to bring more oxygen to your brain and help you really give you more energy and really help you focus. So I bet you that, have there been any studies as far as their academic improvement, or? Because I bet you that goes hand in hand.
I think so. I haven't heard of any specific academic studies necessarily, but we have heard from some teachers in the classroom. One of the teachers who had a student who was just always falling asleep, was struggling to get through. And in Girls on the Run, they had talked about why getting enough sleep is beneficial, why it's healthy, why we should do it. She helped this girl kind of set some goals. Let's set a timer and a reminder, and at this time we're going to put away all of our screens. And she said that by the end of the Girls on the Run season, she was doing a lot better. She was staying awake in class, and she was able to fully participate by just paying a little bit more attention to her health.
So is it just a one season thing, or is it year-long and ongoing?
So Girls on the Run has 2 seasons.
Okay.
It's set up so that you can do 1 season, you can do 6 seasons. So each season, the girls will work towards a 5K, but we have different versions of the curriculum. There's different lessons. They're all working towards these same goals. And then girls can kind of come back to the same lessons a year later and think, oh, well, when I was at this point last year, I wasn't confident enough. I didn't think at the beginning of the season I could run a 5K, but I have. So now I can set a further goal. I can maybe want to try and run the whole thing, or try and keep up with my older brother or something like that.
Yeah, and also when you revisit things, you could read something, and then it could be like a self-help book, for instance. It might affect you completely differently like a year later, because you're in a different situation, you have had additional life experiences, and so even if it's the same curriculum, they'll get so much out of it.
Right. And even having that reflection. So one of the steps we talk to girls about is after having made a decision, reflect on it. How did that end up? What did you do well? What would you do next time? So that way you can really have that experience. The girls will run a 5K. Yeah.
I'm sorry. So that's a really great skill to have in general in life. After you've done something to reflect and just decide. Is this something I want to do again? Maybe I could do better. Yeah. So go ahead.
So after the 5K, we celebrate all of the girls and celebrate what they do, but we also intentionally reflect. What did you learn at the end of every single lesson? We ask, what did you learn? What was your favorite part? Here's something that you can do at home until the team meets again. So the reflection, just transferring what you do when you're at Girls on the Run, transferring what you do when you're in the classroom, what have you, into actual life skills that you can take with you, takes a little bit of intentional reflection. But that can really take you a lot further and see long-term progress as well.
Yeah, as far as like through college and through, working in the, corporation or in any situation, I'm sure it helps. So what are some of the things that you focus on in the curriculum? And just, I know that'd be really helpful for everybody to learn about.
Yeah, so we focus, the curriculum is kind of set up in 3 stages. So first we focus on individual, your relationship with yourself. Then focus on interpersonal relationships, who are your friendships, who's important to you, and then focus on community in general. So when you're learning about yourself, you're going through some of those negative self-talk exercises, you're identifying your emotions, you're really finding value in yourself so that you have a core to stand on. Then you can focus on interpersonal relationships, having those friendships that are healthy. How good are you of a friend, and how good are your friends to you? Is this a good friendship?
Good point. So a lot of times we don't think about how good are we as far as being friends.
Right.
That's a good point.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you bring to friendship? What is your friend bringing to your friendship? And then we talk about conflict, using those I feel statements, and then we specifically identify some bullying, some gossip scenarios. We work through peer pressure, thinking about all the different scenarios where girls may have to stand up for themselves and be in interpersonal relationships. And then I think one of the most powerful things is kind of taking all of that and translating it to community in general. So girls will think about, what are they thankful for? What part do they play in the team? What do they get from the team? And then who is in their community that might need support? Who is in their community that is really supporting them? And the girls will do a community service project at the end of each season to really kind of solidify that after having learned about themselves, after learning about others, getting a good tangible sense on empathy and how to feel empathy, and then putting that into action and making a change is really important.
Those are all really like tough, meaty subjects that you're dealing with like how to deal with bullying and empathy. How do you teach that?
So we identify empathy. What is empathy? Putting yourself in someone else's shoes. What does that look like? One of the hardest exercises is to try and empathize with someone you don't agree with. So that's a big part of kind of stretching yourself. How can you empathize with someone even if you don't agree with them, or if you have a teacher that you just can't cut a break in their class? Can you empathize with them? Maybe there's a way that you can approach them. Maybe there's a way you could ask for help that could solidify those relationships.
Wow, that's a really good tip. So if somebody wanted to find out more, or maybe contact you, could you give us your website information?
Yes. So our website is girlsontheRunofMoco.org, and we're also on social media on the hashtag #GoToMoco.
Okay, great. And so let me just ask you, like, are you a runner yourself? And if you are, what inspired you to run?
Yeah, I am. I didn't get started until I was in high school, but I've found running as a really great way to build confidence, set goals. The work that you put into it is what you get out of it. And I've also found an awesome community through running groups. Everyone is really supportive. My very first half marathon I ran was with Girls on the Run at one of our national summits. So I was on a bus with 50 other women who worked for Girls on the Run all over the country, and we were all going to run the same half marathon. That was the best warm-up I've ever had. So much support, and so I've been able to kind of find teamwork also through running and through my involvement with Girls on the Run.
Well, that's wonderful. So thank you so much for all this information on empowering girls and what they can do. That's very, very useful. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for the opportunity.
Thank you. So I'm Nira Berry, your host of Happy and Healthy. And stay tuned for my next segment of What's Good to Know. So we'll be right back.
The odds of this boy achieving his dream in fashion? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Hi, I'm Nira Berry, life and happiness coach, and now it's time for What's Good to Know. And What's Good to Know is all about positive affirmations. And as part of my series on work and in life, positive affirmations are actually something that's very useful. And as a life coach, I really encourage my clients to use them as well. And so what are positive affirmations? Like, I am strong. That's a good one, right? Or I'm confident, or all that I seek is within me. Those are really good positive affirmations. And I'm sure you've seen them all over social media. They're on Facebook, they're on Pinterest, they're on Twitter, or Instagram. You'll see them all over the place. And for many people, it really works. And you may think like, oh, what are these like magic words? Like, what could they be? And really, it's just confirming what's already within you. And it's really just acknowledging like your intention of what you want for yourself. And it's really based on science, because your brain, the way it works is that it really believes whatever you say. So like the more you say something positive, the more that your brain will really believe it, and it'll create these neural pathways that will be more positive and bring you more positivity. You'll release endorphins, it's happy hormones, and it'll really work towards you accomplishing whatever goal it might be. And there's a few different tricks to the trade of using positive affirmations correctly. For instance, you want to use I statements. You want to say, I am wonderful, or I am creative. You also may want to just use a positive statement, not anything negative. And so you want to say it in the present and be positive and always use I statements. So let me know if you have any questions about this. I'm Nira Berry, the happiness coach, and you can reach me at MMCTV. You can reach me at happyandhealthy@mmctv.org. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.